Hi, I'm Stephanie Rubletz. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. It is my 1-year YouTube anniversary. That's right, I have been doing this for a year. So today we are going to talk about my 1-year sewing channel, everything I learned, everything I spent, everything I made, and we're going to kind of look at the stats and see did I accomplish everything I wanted to. Well, we'll get into that. For those of you who don't know, I have been on a 1-year sewing challenge to completely reform, reface, refashion my entire wardrobe before my 40th birthday. But I started my challenge a little bit after my birthday because I had to learn how to make videos. So even though my birthday was a few weeks ago, this is like the date that my 1-year challenge ends. I say that my goal was to reform, refashion, remake my entire wardrobe, but there's actually a little bit more to it than that. So last year, when I decided to do this, there was a lot going on. My mother-in-law had recently gone into care. She has early onset dementia. And so there was like a lot of stuff that had to be done there, like dealing with her house and stuff. And a lot of that stuff's still not complete. Also, my husband became ill. He is in end-stage kidney failure. Actually, at the time that this video goes up, I think he'll be like 2 weeks to his transplant or his tentative transplant date. So everything is amazing with him. We were able to find a donor, a phenomenal woman who was a match for him. Turns out he's a pretty hard guy to match for a kidney. And so that was going on, and I knew that he was going to be getting sicker and really feeling the effects of his kidney failure. And so with that, with working part-time, with taking care of my nephews part-time, with taking care of my own kids full-time, I knew going into 2019, despite the fact that I have tremendous support in my family. My mom lives with us, my sister-in-law, my sister, my dad, my stepmom, like my father-in-law. We just have like so much support in our family. But I knew, on a personal level, with my husband being sick and stuff, it was going to be hard for me to get certain needs met. So if you follow the whole love language thing, as far as love languages go, I am very much an acts of service person, which means it's very easy for me to give of myself and just put myself on the back burner, like to a fault. And so with everything that was going on and with everybody who was going to need me, I needed a way to really make sure that I was refilling my own bucket so that I had stuff to give to everybody else. And so really that was what this channel was born out of. It was not just a challenge, like a sewing challenge. I mean, that's how I've looked at it, but in truth, it was a commitment. It was a commitment to myself to do selfish sewing for 1 entire year, just sew for myself. Sure, yeah, I did like the Christmas pajamas for our whole family, and I did Halloween costumes for my kids, but it was really about how can I make sure that I'm taking care of myself so that I can show up for everybody else. And that's really what this channel has been about for me. And so when I decided to set my challenge for myself, the YouTube portion of it was in part like me finding my thing that I could do, that was me being able to express myself and maybe help other people. And it was also a way for me to hold myself accountable. If I had to get a video up every week, then I knew that I wasn't going to put myself on the back burner. I knew that I was going to keep this commitment that I had made to myself because, again, being an acts of service person and a bit of a people pleaser, it's so easy for me to be like, this person needs me for this, that person needs me for that. I just won't do my sewing this week. But having to put out a video every week and being really strict about that kept me accountable to myself and to my process, which I am so grateful. And for the most part, I really was. I had 2 weeks that I planned to take off. In the summertime, we did some like staycation, some family stuff. And so I knew that there was going to be 2 weeks that I wasn't going to put out a video because at that point I didn't have a process for pre-filming and like getting enough stuff done. And I had 1 week where technology just technologied on me and it just didn't happen. But other than that, I've gotten a video out every single week all year, which I'm incredibly proud of. So the question on everybody's mind, did I accomplish my goal? Did I reform, refashion, remake my entire wardrobe before I was 40? No. I didn't because, okay, first of all, I spend about a quarter of my time on undergarments. I'm a lot more comfortable now. But did I do my whole wardrobe? I didn't. I don't know. I guess I didn't figure like I wore that much stuff. So a year will be fine. No, there's more stuff to make. I'm gonna have to keep going because, I mean, so one thing that I've learned in this process in setting this challenge, and I've had people message me and say that they're doing their own challenge. I had envisioned myself wearing a lot more handmade clothing by now. And I think to have reached that point, what I really would have needed to do was start on my staples first. I was so excited about sewing. I was so excited about all the projects, and I was trying to like do fun stuff and you know, like add that little extra something to my wardrobe. But the fact is I'm crazy busy. I'm a mom. I'm an active mom. I'm taking kids to the park every day. And I live in jeans, yoga pants, tank tops, and t-shirts. What are the 4 things that I did not sew? Jeans, yoga pants, tank tops, and t-shirts. Okay, I did one pair of like yoga shorts, but again, that's not what I spend most of my time in. Had I done that, I absolutely would be wearing handmade clothes every single day. So I guess we know what I'm going to be getting into come spring. Now, one of the things that I also said when I started my channel was that I was going to sort of report back at the end and talk about how much I spent, how much I made, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into the stats. So I refashioned 15 garments. I sewed from scratch 15 garments. It's actually a little bit more than that because I'm counting every time I did underwear as like one thing, but I did multiple. Of those garments sewn from scratch, I did 13 of them sewn from my stash fabric without buying any new fabric. Okay, so that's, oh, and I knitted one thing, which didn't really work out, and I need to like re-knit it, but I made it, so I'm counting it. Now, what did I spend and where did I spend my money? So, at the thrift store, I spent about $75 on things to refashion. I spent about $40 in sewing patterns for the things that I made from scratch. I did my first ever pattern test, which I was super excited about. I spent about $120 on notions, interfacing, and bra hardware. And I spent $60 on yarn because I want real wool. That's just my personal preference, so yarn is going to be expensive. Oh, and the 2 garments that I did not use my stash fabric for, I spent about $45 on fabric for those. One of which was this shrug right here. And the 1 meter of fabric for this was $30, which is why I bought it for this project, because it was a 1 meter project. And I knew that I could maybe buy something a little bit nicer for myself if I was just using 1 meter of it. But in saying that, I got what I paid for. I mean, it washes beautifully. It's soft. I love it. So no regrets there. And so for the grand total of what I spent in a year of selfish sewing, filling my bucket, refashioning, remaking my not quite whole entire wardrobe was $340. Now, of that, I still have stuff in my thrift store pile that I have not refashioned yet. So those are still projects to do. I still have a lot of the notions like thread and bra hardware and stuff like that. Like that is now added to my stash that I'm going to be able to pull from later. So that's it. That's what I spent. But I have to say the thing that I have been most shocked by was that this would become something that would bring relationships into my life. I had no idea how strong the sewing community was online. And if you're doing this kind of thing, you can't help but get involved in it. And that includes just the sewing community on YouTube, but there's also a huge sewing community on Instagram and on Facebook. And there's a lot of overlap there, but then there's a lot of people who are like, no, this is where I sew, and that's my thing. And beyond that, the thing that shocked me even more was that people are watching my videos and people are telling me that I'm helping them with stuff. And I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away that you all are showing up for my videos, and it makes me want to show up more for you. I just don't even have words. I'm 40 now. I'm allowed to cry at stuff, right? And so I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has shown up and watched a video and has given it a like or a comment, or just watched some of it. Just thank you. It's because you're showing up that I kept showing up for myself. Okay, well, enough of that. So now that my challenge year is done, what's up for the future of my channel? Well, as I mentioned, I still have a lot of stuff to sew. And I have found having this channel very rewarding. I have seen just a change in myself and making sure that I take this time for myself. But yeah, I'm not stopping. The year might be over, but my channel's gonna keep going. So that's where that stands. I'm sticking around. So for those of you who either have been with me from the beginning or have found me along the way, or even just finding me today, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you so much. And I will be back next week with another sewing video, and there are some cool things coming down the queue, so I'm excited for that, and I hope you are too. If you are, give this video a like, make sure you subscribe below if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. What the hell was I saying? Here we go. Here we go. This keeps folding over. I don't like that it's folding over.